Hey guys, Adam here at DirectionTrader.com. It is Monday, May 12th. Let's do today's morning recap and mid-morning looking forward video. Here in the S&P, we might as well start here. As you see, we have this resistance in here that we've been using for oh so long, since the 1st of March. And we've had these little pullbacks within, but nonetheless, the S&P has been holding fairly strong in its range in respect to, say, the Nasdaq and the Russell. So we have been having the Nasdaq and the Russell kind of hanging out together, and then you got the Dow and the S&P hanging out together. We have the large caps, holding a little bit stronger here. And we knew one of two things was going to happen: either the pullback with the Russell and the Nasdaq was either going to drag the YM and the S&P down, or vice versa. We're going to see the Russell and the Nasdaq get held up here and get pulled back to the upside by the S&P and the Dow. At this point right now, we are seeing the markets head higher. Like I said, it's Monday, May 12th. We're actually getting a little pop to the upside here. S&P is still holding resistance right now, right here at resistance. I'm very curious how we're going to close and how we're going to head into tomorrow. I would guess we close somewhat neutral to a little bit bullish today, just based on the demeanor of these markets. But let's go through some of these markets. Let's do look at the Dow here. As you see, the Dow has actually broke through resistance. The Dow is actually starting to push higher, starting to get some legs underneath it, already starting to push higher. Then we'll go to the Nasdaq and the Russell. We've been talking so much about them being below all their support or their resistance. Now they've gotten above their moving averages, above the 50, the 21, the 8, above all short-term and intermediate-term moving averages, as well as the long-term moving averages, and starting to get this push back to the upside, guys. So as long as the Nasdaq can start pushing higher, it should, we're going to have the Russell continue to push higher here, even though the Russell still here is not above its 50 or 100. It's still got a little bit of resistance here. But the Russell is without a doubt the strongest market of the day. Russell being up about 2.3% right now, and say the S&P is up about 8.5%. Or 0.85%, sorry about that. So the Russell is about 3 times stronger so far today. But nonetheless, we are going to see a little bit of a pop. I see the market internals are continuing to hold strong. As long as these market internals continue to hold strong, we should see the market continue to hold in this sideways pattern. Maybe get another pop here into this afternoon. So that's what I'm looking for. One more final thing is the bonds. We've been taking a look at the bonds an awful lot here recently. As you see here, the bonds are starting to roll over. We were looking to see if the bonds were going to head higher and continue to run, causing a little bit of a pause here in the market. But as you see, the bonds taking a little bit of a pullback now. Not to say they're in a downtrend by any means. They're still got momentum behind them to the upside. But they are pulling back to retest their support. Now, I'm curious to see if the bond's going to test the support and get a bounce in the next day or two, or if they're going to go ahead and stall out and then roll over and continue back to the downside. If we can get the bonds to go ahead and head back to the downside, somehow this market will continue to push back to the upside. Somehow this market will continue to push this higher. Even though we don't think it can go higher, the momentum is still to the long side. So watching the bonds here, I'm very curious if they're going to pull back or if we're going to continue to get a bounce back to the upside. It's going to make a difference in the stock index futures and how we trade these markets moving forward. So as of right now, I'm watching the bonds. I'm watching the S&P, the Russell. The S&P is the path of least resistance. If we can continue this bullish mentality with the market, you're going to see me looking for the S&P long opportunities to trade right back to the upside. And then as far as the Russell goes, intraday, we're going to be watching the Russell very closely, paying close attention, being very aware of these daily resistances that we're dealing with. And as long as we can get some momentum behind them, we can look for Russells as well. So kind of an update today, not necessarily a day of exactly exact price levels and what we're looking for and all that, but nonetheless a nice update on today and looking forward here. We are seeing some momentum, and from looking into this afternoon, I see this market closing sideways to a little bit higher, just based on its market internals and the initial reaction. So I hope these videos help, guys. If you got any questions, you're always able to email me, Adam@DirectionTrader.com. If not, thanks for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Have a good afternoon.